If you're watching this video, then hopefully my plan to reach an audience in the time I have left might have worked. Let me introduce myself. My given name is Jeremy Martin. I'm in a bit of a life or death dilemma here. Maybe you can help me, if at least to share my situation in the time I have left, in hope of it reaching those who are prepared to fight back and defend my life with lethal force. Stay with me, be patient, and I will progressively show you some things. I live in government housing. My landlord is the government. I've recently been given a letter by my government landlord saying that there is such a serious, urgent emergency that they are going to break into my home, charge me for it, and check my smoke alarm. Again, as if they didn't just do so. Wow, you might think that's a bit strange, yeah? They must really take their job and my personal safety very seriously. Oh, how protective they are of me, always making sure I'm safe and sound, even from the 1 in a million chance that my home just might catch on fire while I'm asleep, or more importantly, away from home. Oh, wait, hang on. According to them, they are also justifying breaking in by referring to a rule that I looked up, and it states they have reason to break in only if they have reason to believe my home has been abandoned, and they have been completely unable to contact me over and over for a long time. Okay, let's just assume for a moment that's true, and of course it's not. Why would my government landlord need to break into my home with the locksmith and charge me for their own vandalism of my home? And God knows what they do to my stuff while they're at it. Why would my own government landlord need to break in if they are my landlord and therefore they already have the key? Whoops. Got you there. Somebody fucked up. And it's time to talk about the motherload of conspiracies. To make sense of all this, let's go back to the what date is it? The March 22, 2020. I sent a letter to the Prime Minister's office, you'll see here, and right to the top. Let's go to my Facebook profile, but before that, let's go here. We'll go Google. In fact, I'll move myself out of the way. Shrink myself a little bit. That's a bit better. Alright, let's go. Jeremy Martin Dictionary. Okay, what we got here? A guy who's been tortured by the government and seems to be the founder of Anonymous. He tends to repeat things a lot, such as back up your claim. So apparently I'm the founder of Anonymous and I've been tortured by the government. That kind of puts a bit of context on this situation, doesn't it? Okay, let's go here to... Let's find where the... We'll read this email I sent to the Prime Minister. Okay, you might not be able to see it in enough resolution here, but let's so you see here's a video of me doing it on March 22nd. Alright. I'm very sick, dying, and out of time. I only have a short time each day that I'm conscious, sometimes none at all. I need emergency medical treatment to save my life. I am blocked from accessing all government services, especially medical services, because I have been heavily involved in, moral and legal, government whistleblowing and intelligence sharing around the world for 20 years. Every time I try to get medical treatment, a well-known criminal network that operates freely and openly from within several government departments tries to kidnap and harm me. I'm sick because I was repeatedly harassed, attacked, raided by police, beaten up at gunpoint, sieged, kidnapped, interrogated and tortured over and over by this well-known and widely documented network of corruption that caused several major royal commissions. I even spent a year imprisoned without charge or trial, ambushed and kidnapped outside a courtroom door, seconds after testifying against them with a bag full of hidden camera footage of them doing it and confessing their crimes. I went through years of court cases over bizarre nonsense, accusations, and entrapped on all sides with fictional technicalities. Despite years of attempts to silence me and pin something on me, I still have a completely clean criminal record to this day. The people who did this to me have long criminal histories and have been implicated in one royal commission after another. Every state and federal government watchdog agency was contacted over and over for years, and every one of them tried to cover it up, often with counterattacks, my complaints being leaked back to those who did it to me, and endless court cases where my government accusers don't even show up. A government diplomat even got involved, and they went after him too. There is no space in this message limit to explain the details, and I'm too sick and out of time to go over it again. I provide a YouTube link containing witness testimony at the end of this message. I just want to mention, I've got people in high-ranking government positions and stuff, and I have to try and protect names and stuff like that, but everything I say is extensively backed up with piles of evidence. There has never been a case against anything that I say. In fact, I have a $1,000 wager for anyone who can prove me wrong in all the things that I say. No one's ever been able to prove me wrong. That's one of the reasons why they're after my money. But, okay, so I need medical treatment to save my life, and I need guaranteed political protection from being harmed in the false name of medical treatment immediately. I'm asking for political asylum from extensively documented criminals in your own government because every single watchdog agency and accountability mechanism has utterly failed in the worst possible way, every single step of the way, for years. If I am refused help or delayed or harassed and persecuted again for trying, and I die, and this situation goes viral, I will not be held responsible for what an already spooked population is preparing to do. But with corruption this bad at every level, and the only mechanisms in place are intentionally designed and refined for decades to make it impossible for civilians to hold corrupt government officials accountable, and instead make whistleblowers and witnesses disappear with no charge or trial and absolutely no protection whatsoever. What other choices do they have? And whose fault is that? And what are the consequences? When the government doesn't hold itself accountable, someone else inevitably will. You said it yourself before the fires. The walls of civilization are crumbling, with trust in the government at an all-time low. Every social media group, every blog, every website, and every news network I see is declaring war against you personally, and stuck in a fixated blind hatred of you. And yet, you still have more approval than any of the alternatives. What does that say about the times to come? The hatred, distrust, and dissent isn't coming from nowhere, and it isn't coming from the outside. It's a toxic disease that comes from you and your peers. Everyone is angry and paranoid of anyone in a position of power, regardless of what they have done, because of the rampant abuse of power and lack of accountability in every corner. Let's see if I can just it's gonna scroll up in a sec. There we go. In every corner. Everyone on all sides has voiced a vote of no confidence in the system. I should say the system in the system. Where are we up to? I know firsthand. I've seen and done polls outside of legacy media. I've seen how the government raids people at 3 AM who vote in them too. Tolerance of corruption and the resulting erosion of standards is the single reason why civilizations collapse. No one believes in your government and its system anymore because of widespread, never-ending, extreme corruption and a system that now exists for no other reason than to service and maintain that corruption for as long as it can. It hasn't just been infected by a disease. All that's left of it is the disease and a skeleton. Most people still believe in the idea of government, as I do. But what's going on here is not government. You and your peers who abuse borrowed and stolen power and consider accountability to be a joke are the reason why the walls are collapsing. Your predictions and solutions aren't working because your ideology, your methods, your so-called experts and your information are wrong from top to bottom. They are the very cause and problem. And you insist on coercion, force, censorship and secrecy until there is nothing left. Blindly convinced to the bitter end, and blindly convinced that illegal surveillance and secret 3 AM raids can stop the kettle from exploding, when they are the very thing making it explode. While China is widely suspected of making the virus that currently plagues you all, I was infected with a man-made virus in the 1990s, made by your own government at Newcastle University. It was intended to infect Western Sydney, but a car accident led to it escaping into my area, and the government-controlled vehicle crashed at the government warning sign declaring the area to be a hazard-free zone. A group of growing whistleblowers came forward, and they were all killed. And that kind of thing goes on every day. And they're caught every day. And we're promised something will be done every day. And the solution is always to give them more money, more special arbitrary powers, more immunity from the law, and change their name. As the Prime Minister, you don't get to play dumb. And neither does any government official. Own it and do the right thing. The world will watch and judge. If you don't stop this, they will. Everyone's future depends on it. You need to deal with the fact that you aren't qualified and you don't have what it takes to get out of this mess that your own government put us all into. The only thing you can do is give the microphone to and protect those of us who can, instead of kidnapping, torturing, silencing and killing us. Those of us who are actual experts who can prove real solutions before forcing a magic cure cyanide pill on the entire population. And below that is the link to the video of testimonies and stuff like that. I have so much evidence of what I say, you could spend years going over this stuff. So that was the letter I sent to the Prime Minister's office on, was it the 22nd? Let's just check. I'll move my dinosaur to the left, to the right, so I'm facing the right angle here. There we go. So that was at March 22. I don't know if this is going to come up with the highest resolution here. You'll be able to see it, but here we go. March 22, just there. So the only interaction I had with the government was it was like a couple of weeks before this, and I had a inspection. In this inspection, my landlord, the government department, that one of the ones that keeps harassing me and is trying to frame me and send thugs all this criminal stuff they'd done to me, they did an inspection. I recorded secret camera footage of them violating the quarantine that we're supposed to be in, having no concern for it at all, being a lying bully, and sending me innuendo threats to say that, hey, I'm above the law and you're going to be raided soon. Basically, in the name of a welfare check. We just might give you a welfare check in the future. And this is what they do. If you don't know what a welfare check is, go look at a photo with someone with cuts and bruises and shit. That's what a welfare check is. Been through many of these kind of things. I've been kidnapped, tortured, you name it. But this is what threatened me with a so-called welfare check. To check your thinking, as they call it. The Communist Thought Police stink poll from 1984. If you don't know what that is, you need to look that up. So, on March 22, I sent that letter, and the only interaction I had was an inspection from the government. They sent me innuendo threats. Not direct, but through innuendo, and the inspection passed, and they left with the with the innuendo threats. It was the only interaction I've had with the government for a long time. I go anywhere near it. The government, they try to kidnap me every time. I've got no human rights. You understand my situation? It's really fucked up. So outside of that inspection, where my inspection passed, and they just gave me some threats, was just this. I finally tried to reach out to the government again, and I put it up on my Facebook wall with a video of me doing this live. That's this video just here. The very next day, because I was so sick, I was going to die anyway from the injuries that they've inflicted on me. I can't get medical treatment for all this time. I've been on the run. The very next day, March 23, it says I called ambulance, and you see and if you want to look at my Facebook, well, you see what happened here. I basically had a heart attack, and what happened was absolutely horrific. I think this is here we go. This should be the video here, where I called an ambulance. Guess what they did? I'm there, paralyzed on the ground, covered in vomit, blacking in and out, and here's me saying, please help me, take me to a hospital. I've had a heart attack, I'm dying, please save my life. And I'm trying to say that through vomiting and passing out. And what they did is they didn't like the tone of my voice. I was begging them to hurry up and get me onto into the ambulance to a hospital. And of course, I'm not safe to go to any government building, or especially a hospital, if you know what they've done to me already. What do? They stand over me, mocking me, and telling me they're not going to help me, and telling me to shut up and hurry up and die. And because they don't like the tone of my voice when I'm begging them to, I'm saying I can't breathe, I can't speak, I'm blacking out, I can't move, I'm completely paralyzed on the ground, in a heart attack, and they don't like the tone of my voice. In fact, while I'm throwing up and passing out, and I'm no longer able to even talk anymore, they mock me even further and tell me to stop complaining and breathe through my nose. Really, I'm having a heart attack. I'm in the middle of a permanent vomiting seizure, and they're telling me to breathe through my nose. Really, have you ever tried throwing up and breathing through your nose at the same time? I don't think a toddler would understand how ridiculous that is. Just to shit on me. So that's horrific. You can see this stuff. I've got it on my YouTube. I've got it on my Facebook. 95% of the stuff that I even put up gets banned or censored and stuff. So there's only so much that's even up. But there's so much that is up. It's ridiculous. Years of stuff you can go through. But there's a video of me of the paramedics. That's the one that I put up on Facebook. I upload it in separate locations because the things keep get taken down one. I can back it up from another. So we've got 24th was the hospital. So I went to they ended up taking him to a hospital. They knew that something was very bad. They did scans, and all they did was give me water. There all night, they acknowledged there's something very badly wrong with my body, and all they did was give me water and kick me out. But they also, on camera, because I record it all, the surgeon confesses that I am not a danger to myself or anyone else. They tried to kidnap me in the name of psychiatry. This is what they do to all political whistleblowers and stuff like this, all political dissenters, everything. They call you mentally ill and they lock you up in a psychiatric facility. They basically give you a lethal injection. They tried to do that to me again, and they lied and they drugged me with sedatives to make it so that I wouldn't be able to fight back. And then they tried to kidnap me. They lied to me about what they gave me. Got all on camera. Got all of it. And then I fought back, and they shat themselves because I was not sedated. It didn't work on me because I'm genetically different. Where I come from. I'm highly resistant to those kind of sedatives. They don't work on me. So they panicked and quickly backed off and confessed that I'm not a threat to myself or anyone. That's important because here I am. I'm given on camera a so-called. There's no such thing as mental health, but it's all a big fucking political scam. If you don't know what it is, you need to look this shit up. It's just political, social control to kidnap people who haven't committed crimes. Anyone who criticizes the government, the communist government, they kidnap you, make you disappear. They inject you with drugs and give you a lethal injection, chemical lobotomy, and slowly kill you. But I've got it the very day after I contact the Prime Minister's office. I get testimony off a surgeon that I'm perfectly sound of mind, and that I am in urgent health crisis with my physical health. And they only give me water and kick me out and confess that I'm perfectly sound of mind. That's the only interaction I have with the government. So this is a day after I sent this letter to the Prime Minister. So they haven't even read this yet. So it might take them a day or two to read it or whatever. So they don't know that I've sent this letter. They tried to kidnap me, failed, and testified on camera without realizing that I'm perfectly sound of mind. So after having a heart attack in a bad way, after all the injuries they've done to me, this is why I had a heart attack, because of the injuries they've done to me. So I go back home, go back on the run, back and forth, because I have been on the run for 7 years, because they keep trying to fucking kidnap me. So after having a heart attack, I'm really in a really bad way, and I'm waiting for them to respond to this letter to see what they're going to do. And so we got the 24th of March. A couple of days later, here we are. I'm putting up all these recordings and stuff and live streams. Why am I doing this? So it's all in here. It shows what happened. So what happened was, out of the blue, considering that the only interaction I had with the government was a housing inspection where they did threaten me, but they confirmed that I'd done nothing wrong. And a surgeon saying that I'm completely sound of mind, right? Suddenly, out of the blue, as soon as I get this letter, and I'll get a reply, it's in here. I think the reply's in here somewhere. The reply says, they ignore my asylum request, and they tell me that they have sent my letter to the very people I'm trying to report and asking for asylum from in the New South Wales government. Really? Guess what happened? They went after me, of course. They started calling them up. They started loitering around my home, banging on the windows, acting like fucking groaning like zombies, trying to get in through the windows. First, they just wanted to talk to me. It's urgent, but no one can say why. There's an urgent reason I need to talk to the mental health people. There's the very same people who kidnapped and tortured me in the past, who tried to frame me and made up lies. They imprisoned me outside of a courtroom. I'll get to that. The mental health people who I'm asking for political asylum from, they urgently need to just speak to me. Tea, bickies, little chat, and lethal injection. They just need to speak to me, and they're really aggressive. They keep calling me, keep surrounding my home. My neighbours are freaking out. Like, what the fuck's going on here? And I say publicly, they're after me again. They're trying to kidnap me, and a few people here and there might try to gaslight me. Oh, you're paranoid. Well, what the fuck have I been recording? All these fucking confessions and shit on camera. Well, here we go again. We'll prove it all over again. They suddenly got violent since they're on. You can hear there's people in the background pushing them to try and identify where I am, to try and rat me out, pull me out of hiding, and kidnap me. They know that I'm sick, I'm dying, and I'm in a position where they can get me. So they tried, and they're freaking out over this letter. So they're calling me up over and over, insisting I need to come with, instead of just talking, having a chat with these people for unexplained reasons. I need to come with them urgently, or they're going to smash down my door, and blah 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 blah. And I've got images to see if I can even find any. I've got let's see. I don't think I've got it here, but I'll have a quick look. I was looking for the. I contacted the government, or the New South Wales government, the federal government, all these government agencies. I contacted them all. All the agencies, the people their bosses, everything. I've got it all documented. It's all in threads on my Facebook, and I've got some videos on YouTube about it too. I contacted everyone telling them that this is what they're trying to do. Save me. And most of my comments get deleted. Some of them don't, and they just completely ignore them. I've got all these photos everywhere. Let's see if we can find any here. No, I've moved them around. Here's one here. I'll just let's close this. Here's an example of when I put up evidence and witnesses and stuff. You get things get deleted all over the place. It's ridiculous. But you know, this is a recent letter where they were threatening to break into my home with they got the key and they want to break in a way. It's fucking ridiculous. But I could go through too much evidence. If you want to go through this, go through my YouTube or my Facebook. I've got so much evidence I put up. They've deleted a lot, but there's so much years of stuff you can go through that hasn't been deleted. So they're trying to break in. I've live streaming 24/7. I'm getting this shit on camera, all the phone recordings, trying to kidnap me and shit. And they're sticking their arms into my windows, trying to break in and shit like that. All got caught them red-handed, and they could never say why. I needed to urgently come with them. The very same people who have kidnapped, tortured me, framed me, imprisoned me for a year without charge or trial, and I'll get to that. And then we're gonna get you, we're gonna get you, we're gonna get you, we're gonna smash down your door, we're gonna grab you, blah 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 blah, and suddenly they disappeared. Just suddenly stopped. All the live streams I was doing, I'm ready. I'm got all the live streams going up. I tried to share it around as much as I could, getting censored everywhere. Some people saw that I was being censored, which kind of did the Streisand effect a bit. And once I started getting a bit of an audience, and I'm ready to fight to the death. Gonna ambush them from behind when they try it and kill the whole fucking lot of them, and suddenly stop. They just disappear. They take off and disappear. They stop. They're surrounding my home 24/7, and then suddenly just take off and disappear. Well, what happened to this urgent reason they needed to kidnap me for? They could never say why. I need to be kidnapped by these mental health people for some unexplained reason. It's urgent, matter of absolute urgency. And then suddenly they disappear. I haven't heard from them since. Then we go forward in time to all this coronavirus problem, and they're scared with this recent hacks, computer hacks, considering I'm the founder of Anonymous, and I've got the damning evidence that they could destroy the whole fucking government. They're scared. They need to get rid of me for various reasons. Well, they try to have another go. Well, I've put up photos of me being attacked and having bruises and everything. Oh, look, he's not well. He's injured. Let's get him. Let's try and get him again. He's vulnerable again. Let's try rat him out. So here we get after they just recently did an inspection of my home. They want to do another one. No fucking reason why, but changing their story all over the place. And now they just need to check. They just need to check my smoke alarm again. Really? Well, I can't speak to anyone in the government at all. I can't organise to meet anyone from the government, especially when the very same people who are identifying themselves through an email address is the same email address that's been sending me threats and done all these horrible crimes to me, all undocumented. Am I going to meet them in a certain time and place? Fuck no. I've said all along, over and over. I've contacted their bosses. This is where to contact me. Contact me publicly on Facebook. You don't know the situation. You go look at my Facebook. It's on, and I've got a message on my door. They try to break into my door. They see the message on my door. This is what's going on. This is where to contact me. Don't break in, because if I see you breaking in, I'll just fucking kill you. I'm not going to ask questions. I'm just going to fucking kill you on live stream. Then I'll go after who sent you, and I'll kill them too. And I'll interrogate you before I kill you, and I'll get every information, everyone involved. I'll get it all out of you, and then I'll finish you off. If you want to contact me, you've got a legitimate reason to contact me. Contact me publicly where people can see and make their own minds up. But no, never will. And they keep pretending that I'm impossible to track down. They need to. They it never happened. They've been trying to contact me, therefore they need to break into my home to check my smoke alarm, just in case there's a fire or some fucking random shit, because the story changes all over the place. They could just use a key if they had a justified reason, but no, they need to break into my home, charge me for it, go through my shit, vandalise my shit, take whatever stuff that I need, computer-wise or whatever, and then charge me for it, and as a way of siphoning my bank account, like they did in the past. They took more than $1,000 out of my bank account, and then were forced to pay it back. And all the other times they tried to rip me off thousands of dollars over and over, because they know I got money and they're trying to take my money. They took my car, they took my home, and they're trying to take my money too, and they can't take it. They're trying desperately to take my money. So they suddenly disappeared, and then suddenly when all chaos is going, all these the Western world's being taken over by fucking communists and shit. Fuck, there's so much I could say here, but it's been taken over by communists and shit. This is their desperate push, their final desperate push. With all that's going on with these Australian hacks that they're scared of, and that they finally admitted to, and who I am, and the evidence that I have, they're shitting themselves. They need to make me disappear. So they try again, and they're trying to justify it through fraudulent, just make shit up, like, oh, it's just a smoke alarm check, we need to smash your door down and fucking kidnap you. Whoops. That went south quick, didn't it? So I can't meet anyone from the government, I've got no reason to, and it's all bogus. The fact that they would try to break into a door that they already have the key to speaks for itself. But this is, they're going to do this. They tried the other day. They got a locksmith to go at the front door. I got it on the cameras and shit. They still tried to stand back, and they send the locksmith forward so that they could not be seen by the camera. And they're arguing with the locksmith. The locksmith went up to the door. He saw the door. He's like, "Oh, I don't want nothing to do with this." We're like, "Nah, there's something fucking fishy going on here." So he tells them that, and they're like, "Well, go around the back then." He's like, "Nah, not after what I read in the door. You do what the fuck you want. I've got nothing to do with this." So they tried to send send a minion to break in, and he's seen the door, and he's like, "Nah." And now they're going to do it again. And there's so much I can say on this. It just gets worse. But I'm the founder of Anonymous and a whole lot more. I have no criminal record whatsoever. In 2013, I began going public as planned. I've been betrayed and sabotaged by a lot of people who act in my name. All these left-wing Antifa communist kind of filth that operate all these. I'm banned from all the social media, almost all the social media groups in my name and everything. And I can't speak anywhere. I'm censored from everywhere. So they don't represent me in the slightest. None of them. So anything you hear, what Anonymous is aligned with, does not represent me in the slightest. You go through my stuff, you'll see pretty crystal clear, really quickly, what I stand for. I stand for morality and truth. None of these fucking toxic bullshit. So in 2013 I went public, and I've been persecuted to the extreme ever since. Shit you wouldn't believe. I've got so many fucking thousands of hours of footage of shit you wouldn't believe. I've been kidnapped and tortured. Like, I'll just say to 2016, I'll just give you an example. I turned up to a courtroom after surviving a series of assassination attempts over whistleblowing, trying to report these fuckers and hold them to account, and documenting and showing what happens every time I contact any government agency, any watchdog agency. Half of them have been freaking closed down just at the start of this year. They're closed down and replaced by a new one under the same people under a different name. They're just all fucking corrupt. But I've shown that every single branch and avenue of government is totally compromised and completely unredeemable. You have to take matters into your own hands. Look what's going on. People are having to take their matters in their own hands. Go through my Facebook wall and my YouTube, what's left of them, and see for yourself. It's all there. All the evidence is there for you to see. So in 2016, I testified in court, and I said to the judge, I'm saying, look, here's foot. I can show you the footage right here. If there's any question of the danger I'm in, and all and what they're doing to me, and I'm asking you for political protection right now. I can show you the evidence. I've got a bag full of thousands of hours of footage. I've prepared your samples that I can show you all kinds of shit. I need political protection right now. They're going to try kidnap me. I turned up here to ask for political protection, knowing that they're probably going to try and kidnap me. And what happened? My request for protection completely ignored, and I walked out the courtroom door. Who's out the front of the very courtroom door? Crowd of police, the same police I was reporting and trying to ask for protection from, kidnapped me. Mainstream news was at the front with a big camera shoved in my face. Obviously never went to air. And I've got a history with mainstream news. They're trying to have me kidnapped. Hey, let's meet in a certain name of place. You show you evidence. And then I turn up and there's 30 police turn up. That kind of shit. That was Channel 7, that particular. Channel 9 is the censorship of the center of censors. They delete anything and everything they can. Paul Murray on Sky News covered these people, but yeah, he won't have nothing to do with any real evidence of this shit. No, we'll cover that shit up. Doesn't really believe in the causes he claims. I mean, I'm in it. There's a photo of me with behind Paul Murray in a video several years back. Long story there related to this. But go through my Facebook. Like, this is ridiculous. I was in prison. I was kidnapped outside the courtroom door in late 2016. In prison for a whole year. Without charge or trial or even an accusation. And then after a year they decided, okay, the justification for imprisoning, torturing me, and doing the horrific things they did to me, mutilated me beyond human recognition. Their justification, okay, he has a mental illness. His mental illness is documenting government corruption and being too smart for his own good. In fact, look, I'll just give, there's so much I can show here. There's so much. Maybe we should do a compilation. But look, just go through my YouTube and my Facebook. There's so much. My Facebook, especially the last since the Prime Minister's office thing, I've been putting up threads with a whole bunch of evidence of stuff in there. There's hours of shit. There's one I'll just give you a sample of. This is like they send assassins after me, right? They send assassins after me, and then they arrest me for surviving an assassination attempt on camera, which never happened, right? And then look, this I'll move my. Really? Does that sound Does that look legal or moral or something fucked up? This is the tip of the iceberg. I've got shit you wouldn't believe. But it's like all kinds of footage. I don't want to spend hours of this video going through footage. But look at my stuff. I say a lot of controversial things, but I have committed no crime. I have never been convicted for a single crime, never had a fine in my life. I say a lot of controversial things, but I can also prove them. And if anyone wants to have a counter argument, I've had a $1,000 wager up for a long time. Some have tried. They've all failed. There's an ongoing meme over that, actually. But no one can prove me wrong because I'm always right. I know what I'm talking about. As hard as a lot of things are to accept that I say, it's all true. And all the stuff that I warned, like about what's happening now with the communism, the Antifa and stuff like that, and the left, the anti-straight, anti-white, anti-male kind of stuff, and a lot more. There's a reason why. I've got the answer for why they're doing this. I can explain it all, and I have. If you just go over my stuff. But look, in a couple of days, they're going to try raid my home again, and you know, and in the false justification, you know, they call it red-handed line. Breaking into a home where they've already got the keys, just a big scam to raid me. And if you read it, they're going to do another inspection, which is really a welfare check, which is really a thought police kidnapping. You know, the last so-called inspection, they They said that they were going to give me a so-called welfare check. If you know what a welfare check is, look at my live streams. That's what a welfare check is. They come and kidnap you. They beat you up. They kidnap you. They lock you away without charge or trial, and they inject you with shit, and they torture you, and they suffocate you, and all kinds of horrific things. And they electrocute in your head too. They do that too. They do the most horrific things they can do to you to get you as close to killing you and defacing you as much as possible. That's what a welfare check is. You ever look at these welfare checks? Do you ever see like one police comes with some tea and bickies to have a little chat? You alright? Just want to see if you're alright, because we care. Or do you see a crowd of violent police at gunpoint beating the shit out of people, then kidnapping them? And it's always the same story. They're mentally ill. They said the wrong thing. They thought the wrong thing. Something that wasn't approved by the government. Like dobbing on police. Look at my stuff while you got the chance. I'm going to be gone in a few days. I'm going to fight to the death. I'm going to try and ambush them and take them all out when they try to break into my home. I'm going to get it all in live stream. My front door has all these warnings on this information, all this evidence and shit. It's all on the front door, warning them that if they try it, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to fight back and kill them. So I'm going to be prepared, and they're going to fucking take them all out, and they're going to go come after those who sent them. And I need to do this in self-defense. They won't leave me alone. Everything they're doing is they're trying to hide behind fictional technicalities to try and fuck me over. They took my car, they took my home, they took a lot of my stuff. They're trying to take all the money out of my bank account now. They're trying to go through my stuff. They're trying to harass me and wear me down. They're trying to make me give up. And they'll sacrifice their life. They've got everything to lose. Everything they have is illegitimate. They know they're fucked, and they want to take me down with them. If you don't defend me quickly before this happens, you lose your only chance. Look at who I am and what I've done. I'm the only one who can get you out of this mess. It's all been orchestrated to give you a chance to step up to your responsibilities as citizens of a civilization. Being civilized creatures, not animals like this dinosaur here. They didn't evolve into reasoning creatures. They're very instinctive. Don't go their path, because it's all over if you do that. This is your last chance. You need to step up to responsibilities, and police are police and govern the government. You don't need you're not a baby anymore. You can't have a babysitter. It doesn't work. You need to step up and start looking after yourselves and policing each other. Most especially policing the police and holding the government to account. I'm not talking about protesting and complaining, pointing fingers and saying bad, bad, bad boy. No, I'm talking about smashing fucking balls. If the government won't hold itself accountable, you hold it accountable. You punish it yourself like they used to. They used to hang government criminals who'd conspired to do this stuff. They'd hang them out in the street and they'd do horrific things to their body as a reminder to all the other psychopaths who are trying to do that shit. This is what's going to happen to you if you try it. That's how they used to do things. It's necessary. You need to smash the fuckers. I've documented all this for 7 years to give you the justification, the evidence you need to act, to fight back. I've shown that there is absolutely no rule of law whatsoever, that you have to take matters into your own hands and do it right. I can guide you and help you, and I can show you and train you and arm you, but not if you're not willing to step up. And if I'm gone, when they take me out, you lose your last chance, and there's nothing to stop them. Complain all you like. See what they'll do to you. So if no one protects my life here, I've got like days to live now. If that by the time you read this, if they don't take me out before then, I'm out of time. I need people to I need bodyguards. I need armed bodyguards. I need people to use a weapon of information as well. Get this, go through and see, confirm what I say is true. I have no criminal record. I say things the government doesn't like, but it's all true. And even if it wasn't true, I'm not trying to hide behind a safe space. I say, if you don't like what I say, let's debate it. I invite scrutiny and testing of ideas. Prove me wrong. Are you open to the idea that you might be wrong and I might be right? I'm not committing any crimes here. And I will defend myself anywhere I damn well see fit. I've justified it through all these documentation for years. And I've given you the justification, the evidence you need to act and to do it right. This is your only chance. Step up or die. Go through my stuff. I've got so much to show. My body's falling apart. I need urgent medical treatment to save my life, and I need political asylum. I need political asylum before I can get medical treatment, because if I go to any hospital, guess what's going to happen? Go through my recordings and see what happens when I try. Anytime I access any government service. Well, this is your final chance. Save me or it's all over for everyone.